All right, let's see if we can get a signal to the Bat Cave. And I'm on YouTube. And we are live. Hello, everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are out there in TV land. And welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy, the stream where we hang out with you wonderful and amazing folks. And, well, we're just here to do nothing but answer your questions. Hold on, I'm having... Why is this being stupid? Hold on, I'm having issues with Zoom already. Stupid ass Zoom. All right, there we go. Welcome to the stream where we hang out with you wonderful and amazing folks. And this is a straight Q&A show for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. I'm Ranger J 1999. That hunk of bird and love over there is Carthaginigus, the Wailing Cannoneer. Har, he be party be crier crew. Har.
What's happening, Ranger?
Well, hello, good morning there, early bird.
Yeah, nice 8 a.m. I've
Yes.
been up actually for the last 3 hours, so
Well, don't do that.
I mean, it's just where work is right now. I gotta be up early, so
Got to get that, get them works in. All right, so I got me and Carth. We'll see what other content creators, guests come on. I leave it as an open call. If they can make it, great. If they can't, yeah. Sometimes we have a lot of people on here. Sometimes we have a few people. It doesn't really matter. We're just here to, but we're here to answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. For the next 2 hours, you can ask us anything about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes or just in general that you want to ask us. The way it works, you're going to see an example of it in chat. If you have a question you want to pose to myself, Carth, or any of our other fine guests on the show, just put the word question for your actual question, comment, or statement, and we will get the answer to you the best we can. Also, we're on YouTube. Mainly we do Twitch, but I always keep Jedi Academy here on the YouTubes. If you really want to help us out, a couple ways you can on YouTube. One, hit the thumbs up. It's easy. Just hit the thumbs up. That's all you got to do. And subscribe is the next best thing. Both those help with the algorithm for our content. So if you like that, please do that. And yeah, that's all you really got to do. And then watch our videos all the way through. We've got the Ahsoka series that we've wrapped up on for review. And not this week, coming up, but the week after, we're going to have Kate watch Andor, and we're going to do a review for that. I've already done my review on Andor. Love it. But we'll see what Kate, because she has not been able to watch the whole thing to see what she thinks. So, but yeah, probably next weekend, Weddle 73. This weekend sucks because the Stros are playing. I got playoff baseball, and I got the Cowboys playing the 49ers. So it's probably going to be next weekend. I may do it during the week as well. I'll see what you guys feel about that. I may do it during the week. For you guys. We'll see. But actually, I might be able to do it tomorrow because the Cowboys don't play till nighttime. Oh, oh my! I might do it tomorrow. That may make sense. I'm so used to them playing at 4 o'clock. It's like okay, but they play tomorrow night in the Sunday big game, so I might be able to do that. Hey, look at me, Carth, using my brain. Haha. Uh,
so proud of you.
I know, and someday I'll pee standing up. Uh, We had a lot of fun yesterday on my stream with Rambam, even though we had literally nothing to do but just be angry at Conquest. But we had a lot of fun with myself, Ram, and Desi, with you guys. That was a lot of fun. And then we watched Heinze, Jedi Falling Survivor. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much. Oh my God. Karth, I can't tell you how happy that makes me every 3 weeks. After a tough GAC and everything like that, it's nice to be able to watch Heinz just completely crap the bed over and over again in a game. Oh, so good. It's so good. Um, so yeah, other than that, not much else going on in the Ranger household. I have one little best last item to do. The costume is ready to go. As a reminder, we got some dates for you guys. October 31st. That's a Taco Tuesday, but I will not be doing Taco Tuesday. But however, you will get a very long stream because I'm going to be streaming Halloween stream for you guys. I'm going to be in the full newly chromed Beskar costume for you guys. So you see me interacting with the kids and stuff like that, giving away candy and all that fun stuff. I'll be doing that on Halloween. We do have an upcoming charity stream, so as we continue on for our ACS campaign, and I'll have more information for that for you guys on that soon. And then February 1st to the 4th, we're going to be in Orlando, Florida, me and Finn. We're going to wrap up our ACS celebration work, being in MegaCon. I'll be wearing the costume there as well if you want to come get pictures and hang out with us. Finn's going to have a lot of events besides MegaCon that we're going to be doing while we're there, just to hang out with any skiers that want to come down, just to hang out with you guys and stuff. Most likely I'll be going to Cashmere's house, do my hot tub stream. I'm going to owe that because I'll have the tattoo fully healed and done by then, so that way I can actually submerge it in water. Nice. Yeah, but you have to give it like 6 to 8 weeks to heal before you're doing some stupid stuff like that. So those are the dates you need to do. If you want to join us in MegaCon, we have a channel in the Discord. Just join it. If you need information about anything, get with Finn. He's got all that information in there. Do not be shy. Tag his ass. That's what he's there for. Make that butthole work. Damn it, Finn needs to do some work. So make him work. This is his baby anyway. So there's that as well. So other than that, well, if we get more dates and stuff in time, I'll let you know. And you know what, I will shoot for. If we do lore with idiots tomorrow, I got to make sure. Carth, are you good for tomorrow? I got to wait for the others to confirm.
Oh, I'm a little bit on the edge right now. I know you can't really hear it, but like I've got some nice sinus congestion going on, and
Okay.
yeah, so we'll see how
The
it
hell of a
progresses tomorrow. I don't know if it's just a little dip and I'm fine, or if it's gonna be I wake up tomorrow and I'm just gonna be like, I don't want to live.
I don't blame you, brother. Just let me know. You know the deal. You know the
Yeah.
deal. And so let me know. But regardless, if we're not going to do a lore video, then I will do Andor immediately. If not, it'll be at like 1, 2 Eastern. I'll start that. So yeah, we'll run we'll run Ahsoka tomorrow for everybody. Then that's what I do, and then that way we can start spoiling the shit out of it next week. No spoilers right now because I haven't shown it. I always I'm a man of my word, Karth. And if you want to see a spoiler review, go watch my review along with Kate the Great, or she be my first mate, and then also Thanos Kyrelis, the fourth Okage wannabe. All right, let's say hi to everybody, Karth, while we're doing it here. Start getting into some questions and stuff, and let's do it. The engineer, choo choo, engine number 9 on the New York Transit line says we have such sights to show you. What movie? That's a kind of a generic line. Many movies are popping into my head.
I got nothing for you.
Let me marinate on that one, engineer. Such sights to show you. Why does that sound?
Feels like a Joker line almost.
No, it's not. My first thought was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but I'm like, that's completely not. That's completely ass, Ranger. I don't know. That's kind of a very generic line. I'll be interesting to see what the answer is. And he says, hello there. Hello there. Nathan H says, hello there, skewers and rangers, and esteemed guest. Oh, we have esteemed guests now on this channel. Shit, I didn't know that, Garth. Wow. Okay. We're
Who
moving up
joined?
again.
That's not
Yeah,
me.
it's not me either. Okay. And hello there. Big O there, Orlando says, hi, skewers. Hello. Ray Rock says, good morning, Ranger, Karth, and Picklers. Well, I think that describes all of us aptly very much. Hit me, Kimmy, one more time. Kimmy, baby, says, good morning, skewers. Good morning, Kimmy. How are you? Lovely Kimmy's here with us. Nathan H's question, how would you rate Ahsoka compared to the other Disney Plus shows? I gave it like a 4.25 out of 5 on my rating. And out of the shows, to me, Andor is still number 1. Mando season 2 is right there. And then so's Ahsoka. Then it's kind of a drop off after that. But those 3 are really, really good. And I love them for different reasons. They're all top tier. I just liked Andor a little bit more. I don't know, it was so good, man. Luthien speech alone in that. God almighty.
Well,
But they're different. They're different.
I think the reason why Andor hit better though was because it was the way it was paced and how it was written felt like you got a lot of good exposure to what was happening and the storyline with very little fluff into it. And Ahsoka has a little bit more fluff into it because we're trying to bring in a bunch of different aspects to one head, and so that's kind of an unfortunate side effect of where the Star Wars universe is right now, is that we have so much stuff trying to, marvel it up and have all these different stories kind of coalesce and come together with something, really important towards the end of it. And so it's like it's hard to do all of that and still have a meaningful story, because you still got to like drive plot points forward and make things happen. And so,
Yeah,
um,
but for me, Ahsoka, the characters were incredible, and the expansion of the lore for official canon again. I'm like, man, I was rubbing my nipples a lot, Karth, and some of this stuff, and I'm just like, oh yes, give me more. Like, oh my God, thank you, Dave Filoni, you're such a man. He's a man. Oh, but there was a little bit slower parts, but I really like the arcs of a lot of the characters in here. And I just got the tingles, and I loved it. But this like Andor a little bit more. And Mando season 2 was just, mwah.
yes, it it all depends on where it shakes loose and what you're kind of attracted to when it comes to
Yeah,
Star
it's
Wars. But
subjective.
yeah, but it is still probably on the upper end, and I know this is not a really well quantifying statement, but it's on the upper end of what Disney's produced for live action.
Yes.
Um, but it's just one of those things where it's like, even though Ahsoka has its moments of being a little disjointed, it is definitely more thought out and put together, which I think
Yes.
is the indication of a good show,
Yeah.
is having consistency. And that's something that Andor had. That's something the beginning of Mando had, where there's a much more consistent storyline to follow. You can understand what's happening and what's going on. You're not trying to be like, oh, do you remember that one reference from that one Clone Wars episode that no one's seen in 17 years? Yeah, that's what we're gonna draw all this whole episode from. You're like, oh, come on. So
Yes. Nathan H. also says, hi ho, Darth Kermit the Frog here from Sesame Street News. I find your lack of faith disturbing, Karth. I'm going to force lightning right up your butthole. Yeah.
tease.
Mm. Hey, Karth, what's long and green and smells like Miss Piggy?
Your fingers.
Yay! What else? 23 says, welcome to Saturday indeed. We got a lot of, I mean, it's going to be busy. We got Oklahoma versus Texas today. I'm going to be watching that. And then I've got my Astros playing. And then tomorrow, it's a busy sports weekend. Plus, I got to finish painting that pistola. So I'm going to be a little bit busy outside. But I got plenty of sports to keep me entertained while I'm sitting there wet sanding and doing that. But the gun's going to be, that pistola's going to look pretty dope once I'm done. And I went and got the gold and silver paint there yesterday, Karth. Gonna look pretty dope.
Sweet.
It's gonna be bling bling, you know what I'm saying? As some kids say in them streets. Jack Daniels, a man named after my favorite bourbon, says, howdy, RSG. Howdy, buddy. What else? 3 says, question, going to be able to stream Ahsoka tomorrow? Oh, yeah. Well, we should be able to get that in tomorrow. See what I can do. If not, something comes up, I'll let you know, but I'm gonna give the old college try there. Ray Rock says, I haven't seen all of Andor either. Well, I feel bad for you, Ray Rock. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I know it's slow in the beginning, and the first 3 episodes are set up, but man, after that, God almighty, and I enjoyed the first 3, but after that, oh my God.
I'll tell you what though, like that's the thing I don't like about the Disney shows. I feel like people get a better feeling of the show when they can consume the story at a faster pace. Not even like all in one, like binge it all in one day, but just being able to, like, over a couple days back to back to kind of move the story along. I feel like that gets a much better feel versus just being like stewing on one episode that doesn't maybe move the needle as much, or just kind of setting up points for the next one. It's just like, okay,
Yeah,
that was not as exciting, but we're so used to Star Wars movies where it's like you get 2 hours, 2.5 hours to move everything forward, and so you get a lot more time with it. And I feel like that's kind of the mark that gets missed a lot with the live action for Disney. It's just like either you got to make the plot simpler, or you just need to have longer run times on your episodes.
yeah. Ahsoka was very long. Most of the episodes are 45 to 50 minutes, and I appreciate that about them. Boba says, hello there, Ranger Mr. Karth, and all you lovely skewers. Glad to have you here, and hello there. Nathan H says, hope we can get over the hump with the 49ers and Eagles. Nathan H, man, as a Cowboys fan, man, we'll see. It's so much problems in the LBC. Robbie's joined us this morning, guys, in chat. Happy up. Hey, buddy. Jason Hobby, there he is. Says word to the mothership. Word indeed. Nathan H, I agree with this statement. Porgs are food, not friends. I agree. Let's see here. Exos singing "Living on the Edge." Okay. uh, it's not Pinocchio. When you wish upon a star. Buzzsaw with the hello there. Hello there. Uh, Nathan H says Mando season 1 is my favorite, but I also like season 2 and Andor and Ahsoka. Yeah, yeah. Nathan H with a little dilly dilly action for everybody. Oh, there we go. Adahan224 says Evening Ranger. Good evening, Adahan. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. Tumbo says hello there, Ranger Karth and Skewers, man with the best fro in the business. Hello there, Tumbo, and hello there. And happy up to Ray Rocky says. Here we go. Let's see here. The engineer says we have such is from Hellraiser. Damn it. Hellraiser 5. Okay, got it. It sounded familiar, but I haven't watched the Hellraiser movies forever. But I mean, like, we have such sites to show you. It's like, oh, that sounds like a lot of movies, man. That's a good one. That's some good trivia there, the engineer. It's too early in the morning to be dropping shit like that on us. We are not fully caffeinated yet. So after all the shoes I did the last couple days, oh my god. I'm just glad whatever GLD is right now, he's asleep or something, because that man harms me. Oh my god, dude. 100 gifted subs. Ah! First you start screaming because it's like, oh my god, 100 gifted subs, and then you're like, wait a minute, let me do the calculations here. That's a buttload of shoeies. Crap in a basket. Okay. Hey, there's Jedi Rules, a member for 3 months. It says, hey from San Diego, our good friend that works at Legoland. Glad to have you here. All right, so get your questions in, man. We had a lot going on this week, Karth. Man, I gotta tell you, this conquest has got to be the most hated conquest I've ever done, dude. I can't stand this conquest. It's really, I know I'm not the only one in the community, man. This is such ass,
I
dude.
have not been even paying attention to it, to be honest with you.
I don't blame you, brother.
I uh I got to Sector 4 treasure node, and then I just been farming that. And I'll finish Conquest after 3v3 lock-in starts. But
Yeah.
at this point, with all the fixes and all the nerfs that they've done to Conquest, and we'll get a couple videos out for how to cheese stuff, and I'll have all my data disks, and it'll be
I'll be
fine.
done with Sector 5 today. I've got a few more battles, but like I was doing the repose feat yesterday, and I started doing with Jedi Cal. I'm like, I'm not getting any credit. What the hell is going on here? And then
Doesn't he
someone's
only gain riposte in T on his Omicron?
I don't know. I couldn't remember. Someone said it was a lock thing. I was like, oh crap. So I'm like, well, okay, well, who else can I use? Oh, let's try Malicos. And so I went there with Malicos, and I got one. I'm like, I have to get this 39 more times.
There's a cheese you can do it
Oh
on the
god,
Sector 4 boss node with EP and Vader, because they
Vader.
can't die as long as you don't use a special. And so I don't know I don't know the team. I think Scribes have a video coming out on it either today or tomorrow. But you can do all the armor shreds in like one battle, and then you can do the ripostes in like two battles.
Well, we'll have to get that done because
But yeah,
my god.
that's why I'm not fussing with it. Because I'm just waiting for the cheeses to come out,
Well, just some of these feats, man, they really have lost their minds now, dude.
So there's such a small character pool that does some of these debuffs that it's just like, if you don't have Afra, the doubt one's gonna really suck, because Malgus only can put like one doubt out a battle.
Yeah,
It's just
I've
like,
got Afra, but if you don't have Afra, you might as well skip that. Yeah, for sure, man.
there's a lot of just really niche ones.
100
I feel
kills
like,
with Warrior. Oh my
yeah, I mean,
god.
honestly, if that wasn't the biggest, like, go ahead and buy Conquest Plus Pass,
Oh, I
then
did, yeah. Because I only
I
need
don't
one red
know.
crate, so I was like, you know what, Karth, I'm gonna buy for this one. Did I make a mistake on that because we had all the bugs? I was like, oh god, this is so bad, dude. Oh
Yeah.
god. So yeah, I'm gonna get red crate, and then I'm telling you, I'm just getting gold, and I'm not gonna give a crap, dude.
You know
Oh,
what I'm interested to see in? is they did the ISC fix.
Mhm.
I don't know if they tuned down his damage because it didn't say anything about that. All they did was update his kit to be full Darkside Mandalorian or Empire. So basically it shuts off Wat Tambor. Basically the only it prevented it only prevents the come on, what counter GL Ray, well, basically, everyone but Kenobi, right? Because you can still counter Kenobi with Maul Mandos with right now.
That's all right, engineers.
Because
He says, sorry. I didn't thought you were done, Carth. My bad. I'll
oh, you're
continue
fine,
your
you're
thoughts.
fine.
He says, I keep forgetting it's early morning for you guys. Yep, it is. It's 5 p.m. there, not here. Hey, look who it is. It's Go Cubs. Hey, Go Cubs. What's going on? He says, Malik lead Watt Dooku 25 per battle. Great. Still trash. Rogue One Night 8. I'm skipping the repo and doubt feats personally. I don't blame. Tink Tech Malik 5%. I'm sure I'll figure it out. It's just grind, dude. Such a grind. I hate it so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
It's not fun.
they definitely brought that up. But I mean, I'm interested to see what the changes are for what ISC can do. Because yeah, the Watt one you can't do the Watt, but you can still, if you mod correctly, you can have Maul Mandalorians go beat JMK, which is gonna just be super nutty because then that means Reba can go deal with other things, and I think the end of Malgus on defense is pretty much near
Mm-hmm.
because he's the most reliable counter to Serum Malicos that doesn't require a GL.
Let's see here. Kimmy question: do you know a YouTuber named Sarah? CLX Sarah? Of course. She's got
Yeah.
some great videos on Conquest. Yeah, they do Great Expectations. Her and Zareth. We actually rated the Gambit Boys last night with Solo and Zareth and my Ranger brother from another mother, Ando, and I think Calvin Awesome was on there, and I think Playbook was there as well. So yeah, I'm interested to know how many quit because of this conquest. I have no idea. I don't keep track of that crap. Uh, let's see here. Evo. Hey, Evo's joined us. Rogue, I think I shouted you out too. Mike Hunt. Michael W. Huntington III from His Majesty's Secret Gaming Service and our guild MC3. And it's natural environment, making question
No.
marks in this chat. Evo says hello from not San Diego. He's up in Canada there, Akarth, with all the other Russian people of Nova Scotia and them Vulcans eating that poutine. It says happy Saturday and Skull as always. I hope everyone's having a good time. Yes, sir.
No, I'm still there.
Ender's question: lost a lot of energy trying to push through early day conquests. You're not the only one. The Mako was not enough time wise, still behind schedule to get red crate. Will affect DC farming thoughts. You can make it up. I mean, I got hit with it too. I don't know if you did, Karth. I mean, I don't know how much you threw your head against the wall repeatedly like I did.
I to be honest, I didn't struggle at all. I didn't notice any difference. Period.
I didn't
Like,
notice it
but
till Jabba. That's when I stopped because I got through the mini
I
boss with Jabba. It took 8 minutes, but I got through and I was like, Jesus
I think
Christ.
I was far enough behind starting Conquest that
Probably.
the I knew what to go to beat the teams easily. So it's like I wasn't thinking about what team I was going to use. I was just like, okay, I know this beats it, so we're just going to use that and then move along. And so I think that's where I was like, because I wasn't able to do, because normally I would play right when it starts and get through like 6 refreshes or something real fast, and then do it again after my daily reset happens. But I didn't have time for that this go around, so I didn't play till like 7 or 8 hours later. And I think at that point we'd had enough people kind of speak up and go, "Hey, this fight sucks. Use this team if you want to win." And so I would just use that team and then move along.
Well, a
So
lot of people have asked, like, is this conquest worth doing because Gideon is a TW character? I'm like, not really. If you have to get in 4, 5, 6 turns on the conquest, I don't think you're
so
really
yeah,
missing
that
out on that.
Gideon, if you are not in a TW competitive guild, if you don't have Lord Vader, if you don't have good dark side Mandalorians built out, then it's just let it ride. It's not going to matter enough to change. I think he'll be a fun fifth for to add for God, why can't I think of those? For Lord Vader, I think he'll be a fun tank to have kind of there. He offers a revive to Maul on the team. So if Maul goes down from cat leap or whatever, you can recover him and keep pushing forward against JMK or whatever you try to fight. So there's some potential there, but if you're not at the end game, I mean, I wouldn't fuss about it. I might, try to get it in 4 or 5 because it's again, yeah, you're right. It's TW and TW has such little impact on what we're doing. And to be honest, with what we know is coming, in the next month or two, right, with the
Yeah.
new raid, the focus is not going to be on TW for a little while longer. So I would focus on keeping your sanity in check and not worrying too much about having him on day one. If you're not going to be in the top end of the Kyber or you're not in a TW competitive guild, it's just a character that you can probably live without. It's not meta
I mean, I'll
defining.
get him, but I'm still not even gonna do anything with his gear or anything until later because I've got other priorities like GL Leia, which I'm trying to round up right now and stuff. So it's like, mm-mm. So Jedi rules. Let's see here. Ranger question: is it possible to get the Bad Batch shipped to 7 stars? Because I have it at 5 stars right now. It's up in the air, brother. Because I'm doing the 50s and the hundreds. I had 2,000 energy. Drop rate's pretty trash on this Karth. It's so bad.
Well, yeah, unless
I got a
unless
1 today. That was nice. I really appreciate that.
unless you are fortunate enough to also currently be farming a light side GL because it's still broken and they're getting about double the drop rate.
I know, isn't that trash?
Yeah, I'm like I almost DM'd
You should DM.
Meathead about it. I'm like, so you guys knew that this is an ongoing problem, and yet you released it on a light side node, knowing that anybody actively farming a GL is going to have, accomplish as much faster. So it's benefiting the mid-range players a lot more because the end game players are, unless they're currently working on Leia, have wrapped up their GL farms. Um, and then so that you're giving all these players a competitive advantage. And then, of course, it coalesces or coincides with the fact that they released basically you can get GL Ray for $50. So it's like I know because one of the guys in our guild, that's what he did. He literally waited until he's like, well, I'm going to buy it, but I'm not going to start farming her tickets until the Marauder event starts because then I can get double. And he has. He's like already well into 5 stars and beyond.
Yeah,
But
I'm not even sniffing 5 stars right now, and I've used over 3,000 energy,
yeah, I'm
which
I'm
is crazy.
doing I'm doing 6 refreshes a no 9 refreshes a
Yeah, I'm
day
not doing the twos, so
on that. But it for me, I need to have it. But the preliminary stuff on the Marauder looks really good. I watched it be a Leviathan fleet at 4 stars, so or 4 or 5, one of the two.
yeah. So,
So there's a lot of potential there. It's got some really nutty stats, like really nutty. Um, so it's a ship that's worth getting, but I don't think after 5 stars it's gonna be like critical for anybody. So, and I kind of feel like there's another one coming. To be honest with you, I feel like they're
yeah.
gonna give us one more
We were
clone to kind
right.
of round up
We were
the
right.
fleet.
We were absolutely
Yeah,
right, Karth. We called it
I
a
know.
long time ago. We're like, if they can break this up, they're gonna remove all the clones to make. It's like they were listening to us and Zareth and folks that were all saying this stuff because,
Yeah.
we all kind of think the same way, right? We're just like,
Well, it's
mm-hmm.
it's a, it's a split that has to happen,
Yeah,
right? And the eventual thing will come out for the Separatists too. They will split the Separatist fleet into two. You'll have basically piloted ships and droid ships, and then they will. That's how they're going to basically make the Malevolence competitive, because as they add more relic levels to the fleets, the pilotless ships get left behind. And for the fleets like the Rebel and the the bomber and the Galactic Republic Y-wing, the rest of the mechanics of the fleet, it can keeps those ships perfectly fine. You know, between the Rebels regeneration, the Y-wings gaining max health and protection based off of its number of allies, and then the bomber had kind of the same idea. They can sustain and move forward with the meta as it goes, but like the hyena bomber and the vulture droid just can't keep up. I mean, their stats just fall flat,
Yeah.
and so they'll eventually split it. I think we'll get a couple more droid ships and a couple more separatist units with a ship. We might get a Jango Fett,
Oh, that'd be cool.
ship. Count Dooku might get a ship.
Yeah, that'd be
Asajj,
cool.
Count Dooku and Asajj getting one will actually make the most
Yeah, that would
sense.
make sense.
But Grievous probably wouldn't get his
He's already got the
ship.
capital ship. They're not
The
gonna bring his
Magna
fighter
Guard
in there.
though can get the Magna. Give him the Magna Guard one.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
And then have it be a droid, but just
Uh,
piloted by Magna Guard.
oh my God. Well, we got Go Cubs in the chat. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are gonna win today. It's not this year. They missed the playoffs. I didn't want to bring that up, but I had to bring it up. But look, hello, Governor. Oh, it's Nave. He's over there doing all right. Hey, here he is. He says that works okay in here, but free to play all the way. I won't be breaking the free to play rules and buying the Ray Pack. Already got Starkiller and SLR. Well, you should. For $9.99. Those packs are ridiculous, Garth. Oh my sweet butter crumpets. I'm like shocked when I saw that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
I
surprised,
and I like
because
it. I like it a lot that
yeah,
they're doing it.
Scribe and I were talking about this yesterday a little bit. But it's just like the catch-up mechanics are an important part of this game for how
Big
massive it is and
time.
how long it's been
If it
going
just
out.
fix goddamn proving grounds, I think the mid-tier players would be a little bit happier there, Carthy.
Well, I get CG's logic behind it. I just don't think it's like I don't think it's worth it. Like if they want to make it that hard, they should increase the number of shards you get out of it
Yes, I
so
agree.
that it takes less time. But yeah, we were talking about it basically, just the over under on it is that catching mechanics are important, and it only sucks for players like people who are in Scribe's position, people within the last month that have unlocked a GL and put all the gear and stuff into it. Those two particular GLs, Kylo and oh, I can't think of Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Think
it
forehead.
feels a little bad to lose all that gear out, and when you could have just spent $50 and got it for basically
Yeah,
nothing.
and I understand a little bit of saltiness for those that are just unlocking it now, but
But
we need this because someone asked me
yeah,
like, this doesn't this devalue what you did, Ranger? I'm like, no, it was 5 years ago. I got it early. I've had it for a long time. I
yeah.
want more people to get caught up because I was bringing this up yesterday, Carth. Ray and Kylo are getting skipped more and more because with the newer GLs and everything that's coming out, people are skipping those two, especially Ray. Ray's a big one that you
Well,
look at
because
a lot.
Ray to be viable now requires Ben.
Yes.
Requires Ben, and if you were not here for the conquest, pound sand.
Yes.
So it's one of those things where it's like the viability of those GLs at the early, they just don't have the same staying power as other ones do now, and for a lot of other people do though. The other GLs are far more iconic and they have a much bigger pull to them. A lot of people want JMK, a lot of people want Lord Vader, and so it's one of those things where you just kind of have to deal with the fact that there is some attraction to certain characters, and so
Yeah.
but I'm 100% for it. I don't care, it's like somebody gets it, well, that's what Scribe's point was the other day. He's like, if somebody can get it today for $50, why do you care? Because if somebody was patient, they could get Leia, or not Leia, but Ray free in 6 months. So I was like, so what's the point? Like it would be different if they offered those packs for Leia right now. You'd have the
I'd be
community in an outright riot if that was, because all the whales that spend would just be pissed off to hell. But with this, the GL's 3+ years old. It's not top of the meta. It's still a good character, but it helps get buy-in from these younger accounts. And without these younger accounts being a part of the game dies off because it is a statistical fact that basically you hit about 5 years playing, and most players give up at that point. So you see a lot of the end accounts retiring, and then you got to keep the younger accounts going. Otherwise, if the barrier's too hard, they won't persist, and then the game dies out. But you know, that's so I'm fine with it. If they do that with 6 months from now, they do the same thing for JML and C. I don't
Sure, I
care.
don't care. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, it's like we've been saying this. We both have big accounts. Yours much bigger, but I mean, I'm 11.2 million. I'm like, yeah, because I've done thousands, tens of thousands of roster reviews. There's a path, and we always talk about this as a resource management game, but for something along these lines, like we have to be very specific on which path is the most efficient for you, or if you want to be somewhat competitive, right? As you go into get into 4 million GP and get into hard node conquest, and we've seen what conquest has turned into. You have to be smart about your farming plan. And this really does help. It really allows you. Now, you don't get the mods. You're going to get ahead of your mods, unless you've religiously been farming mods. You're going to get ahead of your Zetas. But that's a nice problem to have, because if you're not worried about gear, it's like you get Ray and Kylo for, pennies on the dollar now, and still be working on GLA or Java.
To be
It's like,
honest, the first thought I had when they announced the bundle was start a brand new account, day one account, and then buy the hyperdrive bundle and buy out the other two.
yeah.
And then just be like, day one, I am gonna rule the world.
unless
But I'm
someone
like,
else, unless someone else does it, but you'll have more experience. You'll be like, haha. Mm-hmm.
well, you're just so far behind though. Like that's the only downside is to go to day one account, you have no mods, you've got nothing to work with.
No.
You're so far behind on that perspective that it's just like this is part of the reason why it's like I would rather have the price. Like I understand this part of it, but like it's something I've been saying CG should do for a long time. Characters over a certain amount of time, 2 years plus, in my opinion, they just need to sell a $50 pack. That is, you get this character at this point. Let's just say you get this character at Relic 5, all the abilities upgraded minus Omicrons. So you get your Zetas
Yeah.
on them and everything for like $50, $75, somewhere in there. And they're 2, 3 year old characters. Who's going to care if somebody? It allows players to more selectively pick and choose what they want to farm out and build and have available to them, and they're not necessarily punished. You still got a mod when modding is a major factor for a lot of this stuff in the game, but it gets you right to a point where players are able to go, you know what, I really want Fulcrum, but I don't have the rest of the team to build out for it. So if I can just get her, and then I can build up a rebel team or something with that,
Yeah.
and no, it's not meta, but at the early game, you don't really care what meta is. You just want to have a character. So I would be a bigger fan of something like that. And that's a great catch up mechanic for a lot of players because they can immediately just kind of jump through and get caught up, and they don't have to be punished for not having the depth and resources.
Jack
But
Daniel says that's insane. $50 to $75 for a character is so vastly overpriced. No, it's not.
I
Compared to
mean,
what it was, you want to know how much we spent for those characters?
vastly overpriced. I mean, Jack Daniels, it's not about the fact of it does the pencil and value. And the thing is too, is as I disagree
Value is
because
subjective, but
relic
yeah.
relic value the relic levels, depending on where you're at, that can be a massive hurdle for players. But if you can go to R5, get your Zeta mats and everything else put on it, it's just it's what you can do. But for some people, they don't want to grind 330 shards of a favorite character. They rather just buy it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is if you don't want it, don't get it.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to look at that from a perspective of, well, that wouldn't be any value to me. Well, then you don't farm it. Then you don't need it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of
Value
there are a lot of
subjective.
lot of early players in this game that want access to their favorite characters, and they're more than happy to spend for it. I mean, we've come across them before. You have 4 or 5 million GP accounts that have, you
Oh my
know,
God, yeah.
like no Zetas or anything on them because they just wail to get all the gear and everything else. So
I see your question there. But yeah, value is subjective, Jack. And if you think that's overpriced, I respect it. But value is what people have. If you've got the discretionary income and it's entertainment, it's basically this is entertainment. It brings joy and pleasure to them. And if that's what it is, then it's not. But I mean, as a comparison, as compared to what we had to go through to get these characters and what it was before we had to spend, to get the characters to be competitive, as compared to now what they are, it is a difference.
I
You have to
mean,
recognize. Now, you may still think it's too much, and I respect that, but you have to respect the fact that it's a vast difference between $9.99 and $300 something per one character. That is a
yeah.
huge difference. So now I agree that for me, like when new characters come out, I will not buy the new packs. I just won't
Well, it's because
because
the Illuminati hates you and you
oh
can
my
never get any
God,
better
did
than
they hate me?
sevens.
Oh God, the Swevens are awful. But and Linky's in their chat. I didn't say hi to you, Linky. I'm sorry. There's so many people saying hi and stuff. But yeah, it's and but I'm lucky. I'm at that point. I'm an end game player, so I can be a little bit more patient, like with Leia. Um, but yeah, I think the value is in that it's for 9.99 that many relic characters. That's insane. There's certain times where we look at packs on the value themselves, like the ones that guarantee shards. Like we had one for Bad Batch was like what 25.50 of each one for like
Yeah.
$20. Like yeah, that's a great value, But yeah, well, I had to, Linky, because you have your head up your butt when it comes to not believing the Illuminati are out to get me. You didn't believe me. I actually rolled a pack for him and got a Sweven card. He still tries to get me to get him because he thinks I'm going to hit 330. It's a very simple man.
I mean, listen, I'm all for it, but
Oh my god.
if somebody wants to sit out there and buy me a vault so that I can roll packs on a stream, I'll do it
I'll
all
do it.
goddamn day. I don't care. But like at a certain point, it's you got to realize that the rolling those packs is staving off is basically not staving off, it's basically feeding into a gambling addiction because you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, I might get it, and I'm like, no, you're not going. Just assume, like Ranger does here, that the Illuminati is out to get you,
Yep.
life hates you, and you're just better off just wait until it hits shipments where you pay a little bit more, but it's a lot less than
Yeah, you
buying it
save your
outright.
crystals, and that's what I do. I mean, the only thing I have left is Drogon, and I'm being slow with him on purpose. I mean, we had the Galactic Chase Huzzah come in, but I'm working on that first. But really can't do anything. He's in shipments. I've got him at 5 stars. I can't get him any faster. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, once he's done, then I'll pop lay here in the next week or two. So yeah. I mean everything.
Surprise mechanics.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's a surprise at
It's
what
nothing.
number you drew,
Surprise, surprise,
unless
surprise.
you're Ranger, then the number
There's no
seven.
surprise. Yeah. The only surprise is if I get one because I have brain damage. I'm Charlie Brown with the football.
Listen,
Uh
my luck has always been that it's always when I get in like the last like 50
yeah.
shards, that's when my like 330s or my 145s will pop up, and I'm like, you son of, like
Hmm.
when I did the Bad Batch, I wailed. I waited till the whole team was out, but I did wail on everything through the marquees. Um, every single one was like, sevens and 12s and fives and stuff like that, all those stuff. And I get like to the tail end of Wrecker, I'm probably like 4 pulls away from being maxed out, 145. I'm like, I think I threw away like, yeah, it was, yeah,
Yeah.
just so many shards on him, and I'm like, this is so stupid. I hate when this happens. Like, I just want low numbers. When the closer I get to max, I want low numbers. But then it's always like, oh yeah, here, have your great one. And the only one I ever got that was actually like early on was GeoBrid Alpha. I got a 330 on GeoBrid Alpha like 4 or 5
Pulls in.
pulls into it.
That
Yeah.
must be nice. The engineer question, I didn't have SLKR, but I bought the pack. I was going to go Leia, and I've got the requirements for SLKR, but I need Kairos for all. Who do I go for first? I farm tickets for SLKR, but I have the Galactic Chase going on. Huzzah! It is light side, though. Or go for SLKR or stay on the Leia farm. Hmm.
I mean,
Well,
farm Kairos during this event,
well, you can get, yeah,
but
but he's trying to, he needs tickets too for Dark Side because he's saying like,
listen,
uh,
the short answer is, and this is just an objective statement, is you're not going to have Slacker by the time GAC lock-in happens this week, right?
no.
That's
So
not
why stress?
that's not happening. So just do the Marauder event,
Farm Light Side, get Leia,
get your Kairos, get
step
that
for
farmed
Leia.
up,
Yeah,
and then when that transitions, then go to getting Slacker. Because if you're only just to the point of getting tickets to do the battles,
yeah,
then just get Slacker. Leia, if you're still shard farming for Leia,
yeah.
then that's another can of worms. Like you're gonna, by the time you could finish Slacker, you wouldn't, if you don't have the shards for Leia, then it doesn't really matter. You're just arguing a mute point. So I would keep with the Slacker farm, finish that out, and then circle back to Leia until we get the raid and apparently the new Endor escalation tier, which I don't know when that's coming. It's supposed to be 2 days from now, three
Oh,
days,
goody.
2.5 days. We'll see what that
What is
looks
the
like.
event for today? Let me look here. Oh, it's
It's the
Force Moon.
Forest Moon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me go do that. Goody. I didn't even looked at the Galactic Challenge for today. Oh god. I was supposed to look at it yesterday. I didn't even look at it.
it's a fleet dodge one.
Oh, is it really? Oh, not that
Yeah,
one. It looks like I'll get the tier 8 box again. I just can't be bothered, dude.
I'm with
The
you.
worst luck on
Like
that crap.
I don't really care enough either.
Yeah, I don't. I don't care. I don't care.
I just need to care enough to see how TB is getting along.
Yes. And if I haven't shouted you guys out yet, the chat's been moving a lot. We got a lot of people here, so if I haven't shouted you out, then by all means say, Ranger, you need to shout me out. I'll get you squared away. I want to make sure I do that. Kimi says, I haven't spent since the great nerf of 2020.
I haven't spent since yesterday.
Get out of here, you. Michael, aka Jedi Rule, says, Ranger, I'm close to Drogon, Mean Gear 13 and Relic 7. You're ahead of me, buddy. Let's see here. BD says, howdy, ladies and gents. This was a blessing from CG. Hope they exploded their fourth quarter. It's not their fourth quarter. It's their third. This is their
Technically, it's their second
second
quarter.
quarter. Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on.
because their calendar year, I believe, starts in April, if I'm not mistaken, right? April, May, June, July, August, September. And then we're
Might be
getting into third quarter now. October,
yeah,
November,
getting to
December is third quarter for
yeah,
them.
third,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I think Go Cubs says they're not going to do JML and C. Not now, but next year at this time.
Or even 6 months
The,
from now.
yeah, be on the lookout, brother.
Sell out. I mean, they've already expedited Jedi Knight Luke's farm pretty heavily with the raid tokens being able to buy those characters out. So you have two sources of income on those. But yeah, it's all I'm okay with it. The characters are old enough; it doesn't really matter.
I mean, Rey and Kylo are what, 2019, 2018, in the beginning of 2019, and then Lord Vader's like 3 years old. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I really am not have any problems with it whatsoever. Felix. This question: shall I invest in Super Commando or Super Pooper Commando and Gar Suxon? Are they done with fixing them? They are done fixing them. Karth, I think they're still really good, aren't they?
They are. They just basically said that you can't use Wat Timbor with the team. The team has to be full Empire, has to be, or Dark Side Mandos.
Yeah.
So they did an exclusion clause, which is still good. This team is still solid. The problem is now is that you are going to have to change your modding a little bit because you can only outrun what you can outrun. You can't use cheese mechanics to proc frenzy. So there really isn't a ultra fast dark side Mandalorian character to run with. So it's going to be a lot more challenging what you can and can't do, but you can still beat JMK with it because you just have Jango Fett be modded for as much bulk as possible so that he has the start he eats it in the face and then comes right back, and then from there you just unload on Knobster
Share the
and
load.
have a great time. So I am suspecting that it'll still be a very powerful thing. But the it's one of those things where it's like I don't know. It might be fun to run just under Empire normally, just to see what happens. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
run under like Lord
Uh,
Vader, but we'll see.
Hans Olo. I'm Hans Olo. I'm Hans Olo. Says question. Any idea what happens if you buy those hyperdrive bundles if you already have all the characters at higher relics than the bundles? Do you get charged or basically any or only
Nothing.
what
You
you
get
get
nothing.
nothing. You get nothing. You get nothing,
Yeah.
sir. Good day.
The pack rewards no rewards. It instantly moves your characters to that point. If they are
Yeah.
higher than that, they remain the same.
Yeah.
So you get nothing.
Uh Kimmy says the Galactic Challenge this time is easier than you think, guys. I know, but it's just
I'm not arguing with you on that. I just
that's,
haven't done it yet.
that's what I haven't done. I'm just like when I heard dodge, I'm like, oh my. Evo says, like the Radis pack was crazy value for me. I didn't have any of the resistance ships farmed, and they're all 7 stars now. Plus, Young Lando for the Dash Squad and T3 for the droids. Crazy insane value. You know, we are with you. The packs are awesome value. They just are. There's no debate over that. But again, value is subjective, so some people might think it's still too much, and that's okay. But for $9.99, that many relic characters and shit,
I
my
mean, yeah,
God.
to basically be like 98% ready for Kylo
And
and
Ray.
Ray, you literally spend $50 if you were like nowhere near the start of it. But like you like the JTR pack gives you basically the like one of the last characters you need for Kylo besides EP, like right? That's the only thing you're missing
Yeah. And then I
is
think BB-8's the other one for Ray. Is that the one that's not in that pack for
yeah, BB-8 isn't in the pack. But the BB-8 one gives you all every other first order character, which
right.
was incredibly generous for them. And then the other GL Ray preparation one gives you Zori, which is huge. Like
That's unbelievable.
that right there for a lot of people is worth worth the $10 to get Zori to Relic 5. So it's a lot of value with that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of value with what's going on, and that's completely fine. I don't really mind it. I'm okay with it.
I'm totally fine with it. Big O says, is Drogon going to be on Cantina? Well, we haven't had one for Cantina. I'm going to put my money on Drogon being a Cantina farm. What do you think there, Karth? All the other ones have been
Um,
hard nodes.
my guess is yes on the fact that they created a Datacron for him on the current set.
Yeah.
So I would imagine they'll want to expedite his farming process.
Makes
Jesus.
sense. The tea leaves are saying yes, but you never know, Karth, right? They can throw a curveball at us. Be like, hey, this is going into hard node dark side 3Q. And we're going to be like, damn it, I wanted to save my crystals. They don't, doesn't like you. Eva says March of 2020 for Ray and Kyle. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Ray Rock question: what relic level can you level up Gar, Suxton, and Pooper, but still allow the Executrix counter to work with Gauntlet speed?
R5 with
Yeah,
0 mods.
yes. I had to think about that for a second. I was like, I know this answer card. Give me a minute. Nothing kick in. Not
It's
kicking in.
it's yeah, it's yeah, if you want a Maul Mando team, you're gonna have to sacrifice Gauntlet being functional for certain things. So it's
Eva
all in
says
what.
Zori isn't in the Ray packs. No, but guess what you can work on for
I
it?
wish I could pull it up because my main account doesn't have access to it, which is weird because the other account does. So there must be something I can actually buy out of that pack.
Which pack are you looking at? I can pull it up.
The actual GL packs, the
Uh,
the like the GL Ray
all right,
one.
let's
I
go
thought
through all this. The Radis Light Side bundle gives you Relic 5 for Stick Ray, Olgi, Finn, and Poe. Pilot, you get Relic 5 Boss, which is phenomenal. Arth at 5, T3 at 5, Snips at 5, Lando at 5, and L3 at 5. That's crazy. But that's 1999, but that's really good. The Resistance Lightspeed bundle gives you Trooper, Pilot again at 5. So it's kind of a, I don't know why that's kind of a, OG Poe and New Poe. New Finn, Holdo, and Rose Tico. And then the JTR gives you Sick Ray, Old Vet Han, and Chewie, along with Old G Finn. And then the BB-8 gets you basically the First Order, minus the one we already said. So, yeah,
Um, it's
no Zori,
so
but you
that's
can, but you
it
can
was
invest in Zori if you've already got the
no,
resistance.
I was thinking you're allowed to use Zori in the Rey event because she is a resistance character and
Yeah,
the tag allows her to be there.
wouldn't be bad, right?
I had mistaken her for being available in the pack. Apologies.
John says, I think the packs don't even show if you have everything at or above these packs. No, I have all four of them right now. I'm looking at them right now, and I have all this stuff, brother.
No, because it's the relic levels, right? Because I don't think you have your resistance pilot at R5. I don't think you have young Lando at R5. I don't think you
No,
have
they're Relic 3,
L3
I
at
think.
R5.
Yeah, they're well,
Yeah,
no,
so
L3 is Relic
it's
5. Most of them are Relic 5 or higher, but it's
so
a few that are Relic 3. Like Rose, I
the
think is Relic
packs
3.
yeah
Yeah.
the packs will show up if you do not have the characters at that level.
Yes.
Because like I don't have the vets on the alt account at R5.
Yeah, I think my Vet Han is at Relic 3, but Vet
Yeah, that's the
Chewie's Relic
requirement for
5.
Slacker.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I've got him in there. But I think that's what you're saying, Sean. So, again, caffeine hasn't kicked in. Let's see here. What else? Any three question? Are you saying we have to weaken a character and SWGOH to make them work right? But CJ said they don't want that to happen. Surely you jest. No, I don't. And quit calling me jest.
Um, don't call me Shirley. It's one of those things where it's a speed game, right? Like you need to be slower than something, and so it's more advantageous for a counter. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care anymore because there's going to be so many counters to things that used to be. It's like I don't worry about profundity matches anymore, anything to use empire counters to beat it or split my empire for it because I got to use my best empire ships to go beat Leviathan. So what does it matter
I don't.
if
Yeah, Karth and me are on the same page when it comes to ship. I bring my three best fleets now on offense. I don't care anymore. And guess what I get every time? 70 to 75 banners on each fight. I just don't care anymore, Karth. It's like, it's my
yeah.
ass. I'm not playing this game with other counters. I know Empire can do it, but it's not as good as the main fleet. So why even
Yeah,
risk it for the
it's
biscuit?
not as consistent, and the funny part to me though is as looking through the encounters as we get through to them is like basically if your Sith assassin is faster than your opponents, you should always take Leviathan to offense because it means if they place it, you automatically get a free win. But if you're lesser, then you're better off putting it on defense because then they have to counter it with something, either Leviathan or they use their Empire fleet. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like the fleet meta right now is so sideways on what's happening, and if the Marauder can beat the Leviathan with the endurance, then I think Leviathan's going to quit being on defense as well. So like there's just too many things right now where it's just like if efficiency is your game, then just take everything to offense. If you want to be a turtle and put all your best stuff on defense, then fine, you can off
I'll do
meta
that
it.
on
But
I'll do that on ground teams, but I'm for fleets. I don't know. I'm not struggling with that anymore. Rogue says Ranger Scribes doubt cheese works great. I'll go do it. We're gonna next week. I'm gonna get through Sector 5 today. And I'll start working on the Sector 5 feats, along with cheesing Sector 4 with like my Hut Cartel and stuff, so I can start getting the Datacrons. I got to get that Malicos one up before GAC starts. What other ones should I do? Malicos. What other ones do I want to get before GAC lock in, Karth?
you'll want a Troopers Cron.
I have Imperial Troopers. Yes, I have one that's level 6. I got to take that to 9.
You want the basically what you want on the Troopers Cron is you want the level 6 that converts off defense to offense.
Okay, defense to offense. Let me see what I got on there now. Probably poo-poo diarrhea.
And then the better, if you want an advantageous position, the protection up at the start is actually a pretty solid one because it gives you that 10% turn meter. So like, if you have like a 390 Hux after not Hux, Piet
I have whenever they
after
use a basic ability, they gain critical chance, critical damage, and offense up for
that's
2.
that is solid. That's still a good one if
Okay.
you because it keep you get a really good turn meter train out of it. But if you want to go big game hunting with troopers,
Actually, no,
which
that's
I
the
don't,
wrong one. Let me look. Where is it? There it is. I had the wrong one. Let me see here. Yeah, I got it. Whenever dark side gain tenacity up, they gain protection up 10% for 2 turns.
no, they start the battle with protection up for 20%. That's
Well,
that one gives you that because you gain a buff at the start of the battle, so you get that 10% turn meter. So like if you have a 370 Piet that gets plus 20 from Veer's lead, you're set at 390, and then you get that
well, I'm gonna have
buff.
to roll another one. Well, this level 6 I got is
It
whenever.
gives you like another 40 speed. So it's like you could easily start outrunning um like Vader teams again. So you could use troopers versus Vaders uh
Okay,
to
I've got
win.
one. Bonus mechanic for dark side. They gain 20% protection for 2 turns. Okay, this one was the one we want to go troopers with here. Okay, so
Yeah,
we'll roll that one up.
we'll
Okay,
try.
okay, and then I've got one for what is this? Rebels? What's this? Resistance? Rebels. Uh, they also have the protection up, and
It's not
then
bad.
non-galactic rebels have 50% or more Terminator. Their damage is reduced by 75%. I like that one for like CLS and stuff like that. That can come in
CLS
handy.
might be fun. I think that also might be a great one to trip up people trying to Wampa Momo
Momo
teams.
teams, yeah,
It could cause problems there. It could be fun for some from some Saw Gerrera stuff if you happen to get the Saw Gerrera Kron. That could give you some could make life really interesting for people.
yeah.
But yeah, the overall in this Kron set is like the UFU ones are good, but they're not great. They don't really move the needle heavily.
Yeah, other than the one I'm doing for
Um,
Malicos, I don't really care. You know,
yeah, it's the one for Malicos that's the level 6 riposte. Like that's the one that's going to get out of control
well, I've got
because
I went with this one that whenever they target with an ally with an ability, they start getting the stacking 5% defense,
oh
health,
yeah,
protection,
yeah, for
offense.
sure. But the problem is you only have one targeted ability on the team.
That's true. So we
So
may
it's just
reroll.
yeah, it's not a bad one, but it's just you only have one targeted ability, which is Cal's heal. Seer automatically targets the weakest. I don't know if the game would consider that targeting because usually it's you have to select. So if it's I would know on that one that might give you
Guess
two,
what?
but that's still
I just re-rolled the unaligned force user to try to get the one you were talking about. Guess what I
yeah.
got? At the start of their turn, Imperial Troopers allies gain offense equal to 400% of their current defense and lose 50% defense.
I mean, maybe you
I
just start a different Ufukron.
think we're gonna start a new Fukon. Yeah, let me just do this real
Yeah.
quick. Hey, let me just select this right here. Yeah, let me. That's. I think we found our Imperial Trooper one. Although, wait,
But the over under on the Ufukrons, they're they're interesting, but like I think collectively the power resides in level sixes. I don't think whoever you have at the level 9 is going to have a massive impact. Because it's like, yeah, Seer does more damage based off her tenacity. Okay, cool. What does that change? Well, stuff, things. It's like, all right, does it stop any of the counters that beat her already? No, no, I won't touch those. Oh, okay, then. Well, then I'm just gonna keep using Malgus versus her.
yeah, we'll just have to roll a new Ufu one. I was looking at that like, mm-hmm. Okay, top of the hour,
Okay.
guys. We're gonna go for a little bit while longer here. We got 12 likes. A lot of people watching. Just take a moment. Hit the thumbs up. It's the easiest way to support the content that we're putting out. Come on, hit the thumbs up. Come on, it's right there.
Yeah.
Click it.
We got
Click it.
48 people watching. We only got 13 likes. Come on.
Oh.
Come on.
See here, Ranger question: when is the next marquee character? Probably I don't know. Next month, getting into this month, next month, as we start getting around to that legendary.
Um, yeah, there's my guess is that the next marquee character is going to be um man, it's not usually like CG to do back-to-back marquee or releases. So I would say probably the week of the 24th. So 22nd through the 28th, somewhere in I would say we probably get the kit on the 24th and go from there. But kind of depends what they want to build out going forward. I feel like we're going to get another ship, but we still have characters on deck too. But the characters, I'm assuming the characters that they have on deck for us are going to be the marquees that are going to be required for the legacy event that is going to happen this fall, right?
Yeah. It's coming
So
sooner. They're gonna start. Usually we have a little bit of a lull. We may get we've got the Galactic Chase going on. There might be another ship, but basically it'll be a little bit of a pause, and then we should get a State of the Galaxy. Something will come along the lines, and we're like,
I have a
okay,
sneaking suspicion they are saving some stuff for their charity stream to drive a lot of
probably,
interest into
yeah.
what's happening there. So my guess is going to be that they are going to be fairly close-lipped on what's happening.
Yeah, we'll get
And
the
then
puzzle. Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah what will end up likely happening. So
DFE, you know me, says, how would you rank the UFU Datacron outside of Malika's? Okay. Yeah.
yeah, they have like some unique interactions. I think some of it would be kind of fun for like the with like having Fulcrum under Ray as a way to just kind of spot heal, but there's not a lot of buffs there, so you're not getting nearly as much as you would under like a Seer team. But it's like the critical parts of what allows like the Seer team to punch up or allows it to hold better on defense doesn't come down to any of the mechanics they're buffing with the Kron set. Like the riposte is the only thing where it's just like, oh, that might cause some heartache by having that in place. But outside of that, I don't see a lot of them being super duper crazy.
Doopity 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 day. Derp derp derp. What a wonderful day. All right, get your questions in. We're here with me and Carthage. Yes, and we'll go for a little bit while longer. And
Gonna go all night longer. But yeah, the puzzle I'm assuming will come out near the charity stream. I feel like they might start some of the hints around it. They might have some conversations about it. But it seems like CG is putting a little bit more effort into enticing the community to be a part of the charity stream with
which I'm all for. Yeah.
that pack they offered for the ally codes I mean for $25 is bananas good value, especially if
EANANAS.
you're still behind on Jedi Knight Cal and Leia. The relic materials alone too are fantastic. So they're doing a little bit more effort with that. I feel like that's where we're going to be a little radio silent until the charity stream starts because they're going to want to drive a lot of interest. And so if they're doing like a raid preview, they're doing maybe a live road ahead kind of thing. I think that's going to get a lot of eyeballs on the stream, and they might be pushing more of that direction. So
Eva says, "Wait, what's the pack Carth is talking about?"
it. Let me hold on.
When is the
Let
charity
me
stream? I don't think they've got the next one
August
post
20. No, sorry, October
October.
24th is the charity
My,
stream.
oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of
Even
sunshine
for
coming my way.
me.
Derpity derp derp derpity day. We wait on bated breath as Carth. Don't change that dial.
Where's the one I want?
If it's up your butt doing jumping jacks, you know.
It's true.
What is
Yeah,
this
'cause
bonus for
Brian's
resistance?
absolutely exploded on this
All right,
donation stuff.
we're versus
Oh,
profundity.
they massively
Complete the
changed the scale
battle when
there.
after evading 10 attacks. Complete the battle after getting taunt 3 times. I have a feeling that this is the Leviathan. I'm going to go for the Leviathan.
Over here. The if you go to that link I just put in chat, they're doing two different things for the Extra Life charity stream. One of them is they are doing a raffle for the Rivendell Lego set.
I know, right?
So every $5 that you put towards it goes to raffle tickets. You can donate as much as you want towards getting more entries for that. The SWGOH pack is a one-time $25 donation, and you'll get 10 Jedi Knight Calcar shards, 10 Tarful, 10 Marin, 10 Saw, 10 Seer. You'll get 10 shards for Kanisa, 10 shards for Rex, 10 shards for Drogon, 10 shards for Scout. You'll get a portrait that comes with it. You'll get 2 Zeta mats, 1 Omega mat. You'll get some Mark III abilities. You'll get 1 Omicron mat, 5 Omega mats. 1,000 crystals, 1,000,000 credits, and then for scavenger materials, you get 10 of each seal data. You get 5 Zimbitals, 5 Impulse, 5 Arrow Magnifiers, 5 Gerda keypads, and 5 droid bearings.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
The only caveat with this is that the rewards will not pay out until about 4 to 8 weeks after the charity stream. Yeah, 4 to 6, yeah. Yeah, Linky. That's the only part where I'm just like, I don't understand why they're doing it that way, but I think part of it is because they are gonna wait to make sure that there is no chargebacks on the donations. So people who might go in and buy a bunch of them and then turn around and report it as credit card fraud or whatever else, and then they don't get the money. So I think they want that money to be verified before they do that. Is my guess. I don't know for certain.
Well, I didn't get the evasion feat, but I got all the rest done. Oh, look, tier 9 box. I'll take it. Okay, I'm done.
That's all you need.
Like, no, 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 say, no, say, nah. All right, get your questions in. Debbie says thank you, but I don't know what we did, but you're welcome. BD says I wish we could get double the amount of double drops. Oh god, quad double drops. I would totally cream my jarts. All right. Did I miss any other questions? No, I haven't. So yes, get your questions in. Yes, there we go. Got me in card for a little bit while longer. And then I'm going to be busy working on the Pistola, watching Oklahoma versus Texas, and then I'm going to watch me some Astros play the Twins. And then tomorrow, we should get Andor in, and then tomorrow night I got a busy day. I got a busy weekend there, Carth. I got a busy weekend.
What? No, come on. You don't do anything ever.
No, I'm very lazy. Do anything. I don't stream or
those be the facts.
Work out.
Those do be the facts.
Mm-hmm. Question says LBC says, what are the right omnis to put on Starkiller? There's much doubt in you, and you can conflict, do. Yeah. There's much conflict in you. Thank you. And then you can do. You don't need the AOE repulse, one's nice. Yeah.
The repulse one is almost mandatory now. Mm-hmm. With what it needs to pull. Like if you want to consistently beat Rays, you need to be able to dispel all the critical hit immunities in one go. As far as the locked healing and buff immunity, that one's a little bit still optional.
Yeah.
But the more the meta progresses, the more and more Starkiller is feeling like he needs to have everything.
Pretty much.
You can still get away with one on Afra. You can still get away with 1 or 2 on Reva, because Reva, I think the only one you really need on her is the leadership.
Yes.
Omicron.
That just answers our next question. Yeah.
The other ones are her unique one that gives her the 100% offense on the bonus turn is like it only applies if you're using like if you're trying to use Reva to counter JMK.
Which I do,
Uh,
so it's nice. But you
yeah.
don't. I think they've got.
But if you're gonna slap it under
Look at Riva.
under Lord Vader, or you're gonna run not versus GLs, then it's kind of a moot
Yeah, I don't have the third
Omicron.
Zeta Omicron on her, driven by revenge. I don't have that one. I guess I could put it on. I mainly focus on the TW ones, and I got the other one on Grand Inquisitor. But this only applies when she's revived from hatred, so she gains 100% offense. But I'm like, I kicked the shit out of GNK without it anyway, so
Yeah. Well,
needed it.
the other team just hits so bloody hard that it's just like, oh yeah, totally, I needed that.
But for Starkiller, yeah, there's much conflict, and then the AoE for sure. If you get those two on, you can handle Rays. But yeah, you need the AoE one. And yeah, for Reeve, I've got the two. I've got the other one on Grand Inquisitor, but that's mainly because of TW for our guild. But I don't have the third one on. I don't think it's
Yeah.
necessary. It can be good. It's not bad. You know, if you have it, go for it. But I think the other two are important. Did I hear the news about Bob Melvin and AJ Peller? No, I've not been keeping track of baseball other than the playoffs, and outside of that, I'm just fun. I've got Stros versus Twins, brother. I don't care about anything else right now. What is the news? Felix says, question: do you remember how Aldous wanted the Conquest to be barely beatable? Was he happy now? Yeah. Stupid Aldous. Got a lot of hate for that statement. Oh man. Even though he's just being cheeky. He's a little drunk and cheeky. Oh my god. Poor Aldous. He just likes to say stuff just to see what kind of reaction there is, and I respect him for it.
Yeah. He takes the bombastic viewpoints just to see what stirs back up.
Yep. Yeah, again, the third ability on Star Killer, you can get away with not having. It is nice to have. So yeah, especially with L3s and stuff, I think that's come in handy quite a few times. But yeah.
Well, you're just getting all of the crit immunities off, so you can get
That
rid
AoE's
of
vital, man. It's
yeah,
so
getting rid
vital.
of the inspired on JTR is you have to do it. If you can't, you just get locked out behind so many comps because you just can never move forward.
Okay, Big D6 says, question: advice please on a side project while Shard farm for Geolea. I need Leviathan, Cal, and Dr. Ephra. What order would you recommend?
Well, unless you're going to be ready for Jedi Knight Cal in 2 weeks, I would say Leviathan
Yeah.
because Afra is still a giant
It's an
can of
it's
meh.
nice to have, but it's not necessary. I mean, she has her uses, but she's on the bottom of the list. I'm with you on that part. Cal is nice, but you have to have the whole UFA team with him, you know, so there's additional farming. And don't get me wrong, Jedi Cal is amazing. But yeah, it's Leviathan. Now that they finally fixed it.
Yeah, it's just you have to have it, man. Like
Oh
it's
my
just so
god, the game
meta.
started. I forgot. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh shit. Where's my phone? Oh my god, I gotta put the game on. What? Have that in the background. Earth. Oh my god.
You can do it. I believe in you.
What else? Any three? Question for 3v3: is the optimal Reva team still Reva GI 7th? Yeah.
Um,
7th.
it seventh can be floated in and out depending on what
Yeah. What you want to
you
use?
want to do per se. But the it doesn't change anything. Seventh is easier to counter with Treya if you have that option, and then on top of that, um, I don't think it really matters what you use. If you get enough defense under Radis, Radis will just smoke any Inquisitor comp in 3v3.
I'm trying to figure out where the game is. It's on ESPN. I thought it was. Aha. 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 All right, I got the game up, so we're good. I can keep checking the score. Texas, don't let Oklahoma beat you. You won't hear the end of it. It's the Red River Shootout. Have some pride. And one of the linemen from Texas is on the ground. That's not good. Jedi Rules Ranger, did you answer my question? Yes. I said I have no idea what the news is. I said you have to help me. I don't know what happened to Bob Melvin and the homie. I've been mainly following the Stros and the Twins. I'll follow the other series, but like news and stuff like that, I have no idea. No idea. I need your help to inform me, Jedi Rules. Help me to help me. Jack Daniels says questions. Do the Jedi Cal requirements need to be relic to get through the event? No.
No, G12 is fine.
No, yeah. It's more cinematic and a little bit of a puzzles than some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the worst of it, you can just throw like good mods on them. But the thing was designed to be beat at G12.
Stretch it out.
Was designed to
We're gonna
be.
get through this, Cal. We're gonna get through this. The Karth.
It was designed to be a G12 event, so it's if you put like 6-dot mods on the characters, you'll get fine. Get through just fine.
He's gonna make me. Jedi Rule's gonna make me look this up. Bob Melvin. He is baseball coach. Okay, he's coming back in 2024. Okay. San Diego Padres news. There you go. He's the manager for the San Diego Padres. You learn something new every day. This Karth tagging me.
Yeah, just letting everyone know not to.
Can we change the requirements if I have to give up Rebel Y-Wing one more time?
I gotta redo it.
You keep saying that.
I gotta redo it this next week anyways, so
I'm winning because I'm that good, but it sucks. I don't really care. I just want to get.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, they'll be back for Padres next year. Okay, good. Okay, very good. All right. Yeah, get your questions in, guys. So go for another 15 minutes here. But we only go as long as you guys have your questions. So keep your questions coming. Make sure you put that word question in front of your actual question. Not me and Karth are going to go try to wake up. Well, Karth's going to go back to bed probably with the missus, and I'm going to go.
I don't know if I could sleep right now if I wanted to. Pot and a half of coffee in. I don't think the sleep's happening.
Just let him keep his Rebel Y-Wing, but take us out. Can we just time link you out? I think I'm going to time link you out. Eva says, I've only done one mission for TV so far. Reven, that's it. I'll probably actually do some missions in Phase 6. I mean, LBC says, question, has the Mace Capital Ship rework already taken place? I don't think it's in. Is it in? I didn't know.
It came with the update.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say.
It should be in the game already.
Yeah. You get a free pass, I think, Linky. All right, you get it. No, that was Ace, not you.
I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure.
His ass.
I'll double check it real fast. Let's see. Basic. Yeah, it's been updated.
Dibby doo.
Oh, what are the stats on this thing now that it's 175? I was really hoping they would make it faster.
Valor is bugged. Shocking. I did rogue actions with Heinze and Ram last night. Let's just say there was a lot of anger.
Yeah, there do be some bugs. A lot recently.
A little bit. I know there was a lot of spinning. He was just spinning and spinning and spinning. Yeah. Yeah, poor Heinz was talking about the GLA bullshit, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's bad. Star Wars Galaxy of Bugs. I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's been pretty bad. Karth has been really bad lately.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's got to be some of the back end stuff they're doing in preparation for the new raid. That's caught. I mean, some of these bugs are not not that way, but the GL bugs and the Conquest, I don't know if that was what was intentional there. They might have been trying out a new tier of Conquest where if you whale harder, you get more. I don't know.
Well, I will harder and I
Uh,
got less.
well, get gooder then.
Or how about
Um,
they just quit shitting the bed? Just throwing that out there as a viable
I mean
response.
that's also a possibility, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's going to change what actually happens.
My goodness.
Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that could happen with them getting a little bit better at that kind of stuff. But I feel like like every bug they release, just more and more points to like you guys need somebody else playing your game with behind closed doors that are gonna break shit intentionally.
Yeah, because it's like, oh my god. Rokarin says Conquest is a bug. It just wasn't tested at all. Probably a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Wasn't tested, and
Well,
it
there
probably was a bug.
were there were
Oh
bugs.
yeah.
Some of the mini bosses and sector bosses were bugged. But yeah, also that true. It was not necessarily that way.
It's pretty fly for White 425 says, good morning, fellas. Time for college football. Great stream as always. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I've got the game on right now I'm being multitaskery.
Multitaskery. He is doing something poorly on multiple screens.
Yes. I suck. So yeah, get your questions. Then we'll go for this is another 10 minutes or so. Eva says the Lightspeed packs almost felt like it smash clashed in case of emergency PR disaster reaction.
Nah, the
Not
way
really.
CG works, guys,
Yeah, they don't panic.
it's so far planned out ahead of time that
We've talked about it
it's
before.
yeah, it's not panic mode, get something out to make everyone happy. That's just not what's happening here. You can think that's what's happening here, but it's not.
Linky, I mean, they really only had to do 10 battles in Congress to check it. Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you, Jedi Roll. Says Ranger, you don't suck. You're awesome. Well, I tried.
How about he sucks at being awesome?
I know. I suck at being awesome. Yeah. Appreciate it. They're Jedi rules. Uh-oh. Fumble, 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 fumble.
Why do you build me up, buttercup baby, just
Just
to
to
let
let
me
me
down?
down. Mess me
You
around. And then
around.
worst of all. Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Ba-bum-ba-dum.
My love is true. I need you more than anyone, darling. I got me singing that.
Don't go a breaking
Another on the
my
storm.
heart.
Fill me up. Buttercup, don't break my heart. White Flight says the pack's great. They want the player base to be further along for something they've got planned. Oh yes, yes, there is madness.
I mean, it's it's not that nefarious, or I mean, in anything else. Honestly, 100% the reason why they're doing these things this way is to get player engagement with Datacrons. 100%. That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
They have had a complete lack of interest in data. If you're outside of Kyber
Why do you
2,
care?
nobody cares about them. So they want to help people get their teams up and get things going to get engagement. Why do you think that they dropped the relic requirements for the last two sets? They want to push engagement with it because Datacrons is supposed to be one of their revenue streams, and nobody cares. So it's they need to make it more accessible to get people to buy into it, because the only people who are going to buy into it are the people at the top end who have to, who need to have 15 16 crons put together by the time season starts for 3v3.
Yes, that's very true. It says outside of Kyber 2, people don't care and people get squished out of these. So whose fault is it? I blame Finn.
I blame all the hokey pokies.
And that means Finn. But yeah, I mean, even for me, like, what did I go 7-3, and then or 7-2, 6-3, 5-4, and I'm still barely in Kyber one. Eh?
Yeah.
Because the squish happens every goddamn time, and I get shot down to Kyber two. I'm like, I can't win for trying, Karth. Even when I tried, went 7-2. It's like,
Yeah, this I don't know why they haven't addressed anything with make this squishing less painful, but yeah, it for a lot of people, I would say that if you don't really want to get invested into them, you just do what a lot of the players do now, which is just you turtle and then basically try to keep like a 5-4-4-5 record because you spend way less time on the game mode. You get much better. You get about the same crystal return. So it's like it's not like you have to try that much harder to make it work. So we'll see long term what comes of it, but short term.
PDCG think of something new if they're trying to make money off Datacron. So, anyhow. Then what else in 3? But then they make Conquest harder instead of easier. Yeah, that didn't work out very
Well,
well.
again, the Conquest is another revenue stream. It's in a monthly event that they want to push players into buying that $30 pass. Why do you think they kept giving us surveys about the Conquest pass and Conquest in general? It's if the game mode is too easy that everything you try to sell with it isn't required or needed for players to get through it unless you happen to be like where I'm at 13 million, where you can actually just hammer through everything because you have relic 8 characters across the board for most of your conquest teams, then they're going to do things that push the needle forward and incentivize further into being engaging in those things, which means they need to make conquest more challenging. Which, you know, hey, if conquest is more challenging, but the characters start getting better, I'm I'm not going to be mad. I just think that was the problem when we had Cat. The conquest was so easy when Cat came out. When they changed it up for Cyan and Django to make it more challenging, everyone lost their minds because, oh
That's a
my God, I
bad
can't
time.
believe you made it more challenging. Well, they're supposed to be good characters. They're like the equivalent of what the I mean, they're on par with Malik, right? And Gas for the most, well, not quite Gas. Malik, yes, but not Gas. But they're on par with legendary characters. They're very powerful. They do a lot of good work for your teams, and so the effort to get them should correlate. But the I just think it's in the long term, you're just gonna have to be okay with the fact that you don't get everything right away. It's gonna be more and more pushed to um, having to be more engaged and to have more of the toys to get to your points.
Yeah, and I've the problem with Datacrons. They're temporary. You have to go through so much hell to get them. By the time you get them to where you want them, it's just a lot, and the stats really screw up things. I'm so glad I don't mind this Datacron set as much, Karth, because we got rid of that 15%. Oh my god, that was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, the
Awful.
bulk on that was pretty atrocious.
Because it's one thing to have defense and health still on those crons, but when you had the 15% on top of it, it made fights just ludicrous. Even with the armor pen and mods that they had, it didn't.
Well, it's for the characters that also play off of that too. Like Jabba having 60% more max health at like having 150k already. His basic provides bonus protection. If you take turn meter away, he gets no. So turn meter removal gets him bonus protection. His basic gives him protection up, which is they're both based on his max health. So like it just compounds on the mechanics and makes it that much more difficult, especially when you start dealing with, you know, 250, 300, 400% defense on top of it. It just
Yeah.
becomes another mechanic you just can't chew through fast enough. So that one was really overpowered for level 3, and I think that was CG's attempt at trying to put more power at the lower level tiers. And now with them changing the relic levels to make relic 1 to equip, relic 3 for everybody, relic 5 for the character at the end, I think that's the push to drive the more power towards the back to the top end, middle and top end of Datacrons as well, and get more engagement. So that's where I think that's headed.
Requires more people, but the buy the plus now. No one did before. Nelson looks due to save time or get more. Well, that we've always said that. I got it because time, energy, right? There were some of those feats. I'm like, no, but I'm being smart about it because you only need one red crate. If you get the pass, right? Even the 9.99 one, right? If you get one of those two passes, the $30 one definitely helps with those two feats. Not doing the Tuscan Warrior feat and stuff, and the other ones like, oh, thank God. Those are automatic. And so you can focus on other things. For me, it's like it is this time saver because one of the things that people invest in more than anything, Karth, and we've talked about this before, is time. Time is the most valuable thing. Watch it goes by while the pendulum swings. Oh my God. I just like if I'll make this the investment now, and then that way gold. I don't have to worry about it. I can focus on Datacron. I just have to get the gold crate, and then I can just get as much Datacron material as I want. So I don't need to one-time investment, And usually I just get the 9.99 one, but I looked at these feats. I was like 100 kills with Tuscan Warrior. No.
Yeah, especially with no AoE and the current Datacron setup, it's really hard to ramp them into doing that much damage.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it's one of those things where if they're gonna play with the needle, it's one of those things where I wish CG would be more communicative on like what their intentions are, because like this last Datacron set dusting for more Datacron the data cache than the previous set, but less
Yeah.
upgrade materials was really a kick in the pants for a lot of players because they were anticipating being able to upgrade more into the new set by just getting Sector 1, getting a dozen Datacrons, and just start dumping materials and get your data cache down so you don't lose anything. But that couldn't happen on this one because you were getting, instead of 2.5 million per deep dusting, you're getting 4. And so, one Datacron's giving you almost twice as much data cache. And so it's like if you had a decent chunk of them, you were going to be losing data cache unless you just don't engage with it, period. And so it's more of a, upper end problem, but it's still I kind of wish they were more communicative on what that was like and what the chain and what their intentions are. And I think blindsiding us every time is it keeps them a little bit out of the water on from PR relations perspective, but I think it just if players knew what to expect, we would complain a little bit less.
But Felix says, question: do you think the new Gideon will be like Boba Fett's son of Django? Useless unless in TW. I don't have any my remnants to try him with in Conquest. No, I think he's going to be above sign of Django, but I think his power will be in TW. He's definitely a TW character, so not that.
Well, he's gonna have a lot of plug and play viability just by having the Empire tag, right? So he's got a lot of viability with that as a potential lifter for Lord Vader, and he's got they are designing him to work in 5v5 Grand Arena under not Darth Maul, but Mando Maul. That's part of what his kit was for, and so it's like they are looking to split them and have him have some sort of use under that, which is fine. I'm all for it. But it's just at this point a little unclear what the objective is long term with him, because I feel like if we're pulling Maul Mandos away, we're pulling Maul away specifically from Lord Vader. Lord Vader needs some help to be competitive again, and I don't know if they want to go down that road. So
Yeah. Still, most optimal pass in 3 red crates. Spend currency on signal data over shards. I don't need signal data because the way I farm, I could see your point there, Rakaran, but it's different for everybody. For me, that's just like, Signal data is not my problem. Datacron stuff is because it's what we do. So I need Datacron stuff. So for me, one big red crate and then two gold crates where I get gold crate and then I just sit there and like the especially the sector 4 and 5 bosses, it's like the treasure nodes, I need that stuff. It's not a cash problem because you now that the shard stores where you can get a million every turn, it's like sure, I'll get that over and over again and then just get the the those two. So yeah.
Yeah, data cache isn't as hard to get your hands on because you can, if you're about it, you can get about 5 million a day if you're hitting that charged up store every time, and you have the currency to pour into it. So it's not as challenging to get on top of it because you have a much more consistent source once Conquest goes away, to get your hands on it. And the reality is, and this is the argument I made for anybody who wants to farm Datacrons, when especially when the first set drops, you are far better wailing on refreshes, going even through the 400s, um, to get your Datacron materials than you are ever buying Datacron materials out of the Datacron shipment store. They are terrible value. Like the case in point is the Mark III upgrade materials, right? Mark III upgrade materials, for a stack of, let's see, let's pull up the store. A stack of 25 is 600 crystals. And if you did the 200 refreshes in the store, you'd probably walk away with between 120 to maybe 200, roughly somewhere in there, maybe 180 somewhere there. So you're far better off. But then you look at the it's 1200 for 50. Well, if you go through the 400, you're still going to net more than ever buying that. So like that's, if you ever want to take Conquest, or not Conquest, but Datacron farming seriously, you got to look at where it's the most advantageous to put your crystals if you want to get them. Now, not everybody wants to have 20 Datacrons. That's fine. You don't have to. But it is one of those things where it's like the value is always doing the conquest. If you ever think you're wasting crystals there, it's far better to splurge on that and to be ahead than it is ever to come back and need to buy something out of the shipment store and pay a massively increased premium on it.
Jack Daniels, you don't need signal data. What game are you playing? The one's called Endgame, where I religiously farm signal data because I have nothing to farm in Cantina. I do 3 100s a day, and I have a very nice solid nest egg of signal data. So yeah, now big bulk of it's about to disappear because of finishing up the relics for Leia. But yeah, I don't need signal data because every day I do 3 100s on Cantina. I have nothing to farm there, so I farm it every day, and I just let it build up. So when
Yeah.
you get to that point, then yeah, you can be like, yeah, I don't really need to worry about signal data. I'm more worried about the bronzium stuff than anything. I have to go back between farming Kyrotex and then going back to 1C and 1D. That shit runs out for me faster than the signal data does. Um, LC question: do you think Relic 9 Sith Assassin is a must now? Does Relic 9 stop the Chimera counter? I have
No and no.
no.
The Chimera counter is actually being stopped by the Chimera counter gets trashed more by putting Phantom in the Leviathan reserves for reinforcement, because you get to your Sith fighter a turn faster. Not Sith fighter, but the Sith interceptor, because it has a higher priority reinforce. So getting that extra ship out faster and them having the fleet advantage on you means even if you win, if you can get the team controlled, when Sith Fighter comes out, he stuns too many things. There's a lot of things that come out with the reinforcement bonuses that really kind of slow your fleet down and can really hamper what's going on. So that's been the most consistent way to stop it. Um, R9 Sith Assassin is basically like, unless you have like an ultra competitive fleet arena, I think it's a huge luxury that most people aren't going to need. I think for the most part, unless I mean, honestly, if the negotiator with the Marauder is able to beat the crap out of Leviathan with Sith Assassin in the starting lineup, then at 4 stars, like stop investing in SAS like yesterday. Like you don't need it. It's gonna be fine. So
I farmed 3-100 in heavy 11 on the GP and still need signal data. Well, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I mean, I
get
guess
more
that's the way.
things at relics and you have less thing to relic. Come on.
Yes.
That's how the
Now
math
I'm
works.
very specific on what I relic. Karth knows this. I just don't relic to relic. I mean, I have my projects and I
Oh,
don't stray from those projects either. I mean, I
no,
have a very heavy relic account, but
that's where we differ.
yeah, that's why Karth always needs signal data because he's just constantly relic nining shit. I mean, I'm doing the requirements and then yeah, but yeah, it depends on how where you're farming, how you're farming, that kind of stuff. So, um, but yeah, for me, it's just like yeah, I've got plenty of it right now. Now it's going to get a big chunk of it out, but once I get GLA done, then I'm not worried about it. So, um, yeah. So, and I just did a bunch of characters like Malicos to Relegate and stuff, and I've got 600 something of one and 400 of the green and 300 of the blue. Kind of keep them at those levels or higher. So when I pop, like I've been doing the relics, and we just did a bunch, like we did relics on the Ewoks and a bunch of other stuff, and I've still got that left over. So I let stuff build up, and I very methodical about what I work on and things of that nature. So yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of what you have to do is have a little control onto what you invest into.
yeah. Sometimes you
Unlike
can, and
me,
sometimes you can get ahead of your material. It happens, especially if you're spending a lot. You can get ahead of like mods. You can get ahead of your resources. You know, that's the way the game's kind of designed, so you have to spend money. So I play a little bit slower game. Elsie, how does the negotiator counter work? Huh?
I put a link in
Oh, you
in
put a
the
link.
chat.
Okay, thank you.
That's the video I saw yesterday of it beating it. But well, because the stats on the Marauder are just absolutely nutty. But apparently, there's a bug with Valor that's offering
Yeah,
too much offense or something. I don't know what the specific bug is.
there's some with Valor. Yeah,
Something with Valor. That's what we know right
there's
now.
so many
But
bugs to keep track of anymore.
I know. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with it in the long run.
Well, what 73 is right. If you take all your whole roster Rook 9, you don't have to worry about it anymore. That's right.
100%. If you just have everything, you don't need anything.
Bronze was still my biggest bottleneck. Yeah, Bronze Unit's gonna be a pain in the ass out of all of them. Bronze and suck. Yeah, those get me more than the signal data. All right, last call for questions. We're gonna wrap it up. So we got another minute or two. If you have a question popping in, if not, we're going to end the stream there. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff, and get your final questions in because we're gonna. I got stuff to do. Cart's got stuff to do. You know, we got things that are
What
happening.
stuff to do?
Yeah, that's why you were up early this morning.
Seems
Remember?
seems like a ruse.
Yes. Question: is the new Datacron 135? Yes, it is
Yes.
engineer. Yeah. Oh, you have a great weekend too, LBC. And feel free to share the stream with your friends and stuff. Say, hey, check out Jedi Academy. It's pretty cute. Earth and Ranger are pretty cute. I think we're pretty cute.
We do all right.
We do the work. Eva says, I hear Car's biggest bottleneck is having to call the bank. No, not really. No.
No, my biggest bottleneck is making sure my wife doesn't see my credit card transactions at the end of the month.
I know, right? And I fear for that too, because she's like, Ranger, why didn't you stop him? I tried. Well, you didn't try hard enough. And that's when Ranger died.
Sky motherfucker.
All right, with that, next stream we'll try to get Soka in tomorrow. We'll see how it plays out. And then we'll be back Monday. And I've already given you the dates for the other stream. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. So on behalf of myself and Carthaginigus, thank you for joining the Jedi Academy. Appreciate you guys. Hit that thumbs up and blah, 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 blah. Have a great weekend, and we will see you soon. Peace out.